The internal combustion engine is dead. Long live the battery electric vehicle, powered by lithium-ion batteries that are charged by coal-fired power plants. Wait, that parenthetical part can't be true, can it? While it is true today that the electric vehicle, EV, market is still largely powered using the same technology that drove steam locomotives in the late 1800s, things are changing rapidly. Right now, around 30% of the electricity in the US comes from coal. In China, that number jumps to 2/3. Even the Netherlands, with its iconic windmills, generates 29% of its electricity from coal. Globally, roughly 37% of the world's electricity comes from power plants that burn coal. Those numbers have been trending down over the past several years, though. On a global basis, coal demand is down from its peak in 2014 as countries around the globe have begun to implement initiatives to curb the production of greenhouse gases, also helped by cheap natural gas and local pollution concerns. But for every action to incentivize the development of clean cars and energy sources to power them, a series of reactions occur that affect everything from raw material sourcing to consumer behavior and new technology development. As automakers ramp up production for ever more EVs, demand on the power grid from EVs will grow exponentially. According to best estimates, growth in EV adoption could drive a 300-fold increase in electricity consumption by 2040, compared to 2016. The current grid will need to evolve significantly to accommodate that growth, driving a blitz of new innovation in wind and solar power, which will ultimately shift global reliance on coal toward clean energy alternatives. But even that transition, while certainly cleaner, is not without environmental, economic, and legislative impact. Whatever form it takes, the growth in demand for EVs will spur a surge in demand for other organic elements used in EVs and the clean energy production process, notably lithium, cobalt, and rare earths, each of which comes with its own set of environmental, economic, and geopolitical challenges. In this new report, Thomson Reuters examines the knock-on effects of the growth of EVs, creating a what-if analysis that projects the impacts of large-scale growth in EV adoption on everything from consumer buying patterns to global energy consumption to carbon dioxide emissions. We also weigh the impact of the EV revolution on the metals and mining, automotive, and energy sectors, highlight various legislative initiatives rolling out globally, and share insights from our research teams who are working on the front lines of this transformation. In order to understand the full implications of the EV movement, it helps to look closely at what's driving it. Unlike other massive shifts in consumer preference, such as the growth of smartphones, the rise of e-commerce, or even the first automotive revolution, which were all driven almost entirely by technological innovation, technology is just one part of a three-pronged phenomenon that's behind the EV revolution. The other two critical variables are growing environmental awareness and fast-moving political policy changes. When could we see 100% EV adoption? This groundswell of convergent trends has provoked the global auto industry to get serious about EVs. Perhaps the clearest evidence of just how serious came in July 2017, when Volvo stunned the automotive industry with the announcement that, starting in 2019, every new car the company launches will have an electric motor. Hailed at the time as both the biggest commitment by any major car company to hybrid and battery-powered vehicle technology and a potential death knell to the internal combustion engine, the move seemed almost preposterously aggressive for a company that was on the brink of bankruptcy as recently as 2010. But Volvo isn't alone. The buzz at this year's Geneva International Motor Show was sparked by a flurry of EV and hybrid debuts from the likes of BMW, Jaguar, Mercedes, Porsche, and others. Ford, which routinely claims best-selling vehicle of the year bragging rights with its full-sized, gas-swilling pickup trucks, has announced that it plans to sell more hybrid vehicles than Toyota by 2021. Even its iconic F-150 pickup will get a hybrid engine. Ford CEO Jim Hackett explained his company's rationale at a recent press conference. Hybrid technology has gotten much better. The idea is, can we give customers what they want in the future if fuel goes up? And the answer is in those hybrids, Hackett said. That gives people the kind of vehicles they desire, and they don't pay in fuel economy. It's announcements like these, along with a steady pace of EV policy announcements from governments around the globe, that have driven the traditionally conservative International Energy Agency to project that the global stock of EVs will range somewhere between 9 million and 20 million by 2020 and between 40 million and 70 million by 2025. As a point of reference, there were about 97 million vehicles sold globally in 2017. With the world's largest manufacturers putting such aggressive EV and hybrid agendas in place, is it possible that we'll see a complete shift to EVs in the not-so-distant future?